Hey guys, so today you and I are going to talk about prompt engineering. So let's get into it. So the question in question was, hi Frederick, is prompt engineering the future of programming? I really hope not. Because my guess is that if we get to that point, and I'm pretty sure at some point we might get to that in the far future, I'm pretty sure that prompt engineering is when we start using, like, where wizards and spells become a thing. Because up until now, I've always considered the only true shamans of our industry to be the SEO people, because they're literally paid to guess what's going to be good, convert well in like the search engines and stuff like that. Their whole job is to literally try to figure that out. And prompt engineer is the next level of that shit, if you ask me. So you are literally now talking about something that is in essence figuring out which combination of words to put into a black box, which is this AI model or the models that have been trained, so that it produces the best results. And if that's not magic, I don't know what is. That is literally magic. You have no fucking clue whatsoever what is going to give you the results and so forth. You can describe things, absolutely, and you can be great at that sort of stuff, but do you actually know what I mean, it's really easy to be a prompt engineer if you think in terms of like a visual thing, as I've said in many videos before, guys. The beautiful part about AI is that if you're dealing with a problem where the answer is not set in stone, or the answer is very easy to evaluate, then it's really safe, and I absolutely love using AI for that stuff. But there's a lot of kids who've written, essays on topics they don't really know. It's kind of hard to sort of just feel safe when the AI gives you like a bunch of data out. You submit that to your teacher, who knows whether or not this is correct, and they check it and find that actually this is not correct, when you yourself don't know. And that's what the thing I just keep throwing back to people who keep on telling me is AI going to take our job, is prompt engineering going to take over, and I kind of go, the second the AI is so advanced that you can trust it to take your complete ignorance of a description when it comes to describing what your system is supposed to be doing and how to do it and all of that stuff. When it can take that description and convert it into working flawless software as precisely and as reliably as a calculator, then yes, that's the future of programming. I completely agree on that. Up until that point, you will need someone who knows what the fucking code is doing. And we have a term for that. It's called software developer or programmer. That's sort of the whole point of the job, to know what the code is doing and to write it yourself. And I've said so many times before, guys, that like for me, if you want to see the future of programming, it might be that you sit in a casual manner with your feet up, sort of like I do right now, and you just talk like I'm doing right now, and I just say, hey Jarvis, because Jarvis is probably my favorite AI, right? Well, there are a few others that are pretty nice as well, but all you have to say is, I want you to write a function or a implementation of an API that does this and that, and then just look through the code. So I basically become permanent AI bot code reviewer. That is something I can definitely see happening. I don't really see why it wouldn't happen, because the keyboard is just a way for me to type out all the characters and stuff like that. But it's a hell of a lot quicker if I can just say to whatever AI system I'm dealing with, hey, can you add another endpoint to this controller, for example? It should fall under this category and so forth and so forth. And then it has to get that really right, because as long as if it's more efficient, or not as efficient, let's say that instead, as me writing out the actual characters by hand, well, then it's not really helping, now is it? The times that you really want someone to know what the results are in situations like this. And a prompt engineer I assume, according to you, is not a software developer. If they rename me prompt engineer, then yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's going to be the future of programming. I can do it right now. And then I'm a prompt engineer because I know how to tell the computer what it needs to know in order to spit out the right code, and I can correct it and can do everything else. And that's the sort of the red thread through my arguments against AI taking over and so forth. It really is dependent on that very simple fact that if you don't know how to tell the AI what it did wrong because it doesn't get everything right all the time, then you're fucked. You're literally fucked, and that's why you still have software developers. And it's the same thing when people talk about juniors versus seniors and so forth. Again, if the junior doesn't know what to do, you're fucked. If the senior doesn't know what you're doing, like to tell it or how to fix the code, again, you're fucked. That's with or without AI. It's always the same case. You need someone who knows how the thing works to tell the AI what to do. And so, no, I don't think prompt engineering is the future of programming, because it's based on the idea, as I said, that you have some, like, you're literally, in my opinion, right, you're doing a literally glorified black box testing. And every single QA I've ever worked with that does that for a living, you're literally poking something you don't understand with a stick to see what comes out. And I find it really difficult to believe that that is going to produce working production code faster than someone who knows what the fuck the code is doing. So, what I want you to take away from this is that no, prompt engineering is not the future of programming. The future of programming, if you ask me at the very least, is that highly talented software developers more and more leverage automated tools such as AI in order to write working software. And over time, the models are going to learn and adapt and become more refined and be better at that. Hopefully, it will reach a point at some point where basically you don't really have to worry anymore. Like, if me personally, that's where I think the line is going to be. That's completely, based on my own prejudices and assumptions and all that good stuff, right? But the level of trust that humans have towards a calculator, that's the bare minimum you need for anything that is risky in any fashion. Humans do not do well with uncertainty when it comes to stuff they care about. And that is why, nobody's going to fact check the calculator. And there's a reason for that. The AI will have to build up that trust, or the AI systems of today are going to have to build up similar levels of trust with people before they're going to be able to trust it. For me, it's easy to trust an AI because I know if the answer is right or not. But I would be very, very, very anxious if, let's say, I asked the AI, hey, do I have cancer? And it said something to me. I would pretty much want to someone who is a doctor, so for just to double check if that is actually correct. And that is because I don't trust this answer at this moment. And in the future, who knows, maybe I will trust the AI more than the doctor, because just because it's an AI doesn't mean that it's always wrong and the human is always right. But that is what it fundamentally comes down to. Can you get the results and have them be reliable? And who does it the quickest? And a prompt engineer without any coding skills at this point is never in a million years going to be able to produce a sophisticated working system faster and more reliably and fix all the issues and maintain it and do all the stuff that we software developers do every single day at present with current AI technology. A software developer can leverage it and still do it, but then I kind of go back to the thing I've been saying. And why do we need a prompt engineer? You already have the software developers, so they might as well just, as I've said before, remove the keyboard and use a mic instead, guys. Congratulations, you are now building the future of programming. Have a great day.